education platform.
Good afternoon, my dear students. Welcome to Qalam education platform, bringing you live grade 12 English, writing skills, Ethiopian curriculum. Welcome, welcome. So now we are going to look at comparing two pie charts. You know, pie charts are graphs which we look at, and it carries a lot of information that you can be able now to interpret and extrapolate as you write into prose or whatever. So activity 6.12, we are looking at model task. Now, the two pie charts below that you will see show the online shopping sales for retail sectors in Canada in 2005 and 2010. So you are going to look at two pie charts, one covering online shopping sales for retail sectors in Canada in 2005, and you will see another pie chart showing 2010 for online shopping sales for retail sectors in Canada. So look at the plan and example summary below before attempting the exercise on comparing pie charts. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Then you have to write at least 150 words. So students, you can look here. Here we are seeing online sales for retail sectors in Canada, like in 2005. So where you see blue, that is sales for electronics and appliance. Where you see pink, red, that is food and beverage. And where you see not really black but maroon, like dark, that is home furnishings. Then where you see orange, like, that is video games. So this is showing the retail sales in Canada in the 2 years, 2005 and 2010. So you can see, like in 2005, in Canada, 18% video games were sold, but in 2010, 23% of all what was sold was video games. Then you can see clearly in 2005, 35% electronics and appliances were sold. Now, when you come to 2010, there was a decrease from 35 in 2005 to 30 in 2010. Now, when you come to food and beverage, in 2005, they sold 22%. But when it comes to 2010, they sold 32%. So you can see there is an increase of 10% from 2005 to 2010. While there was a decrease of 5% in electronics and appliance from 2005 to and into 2010. Then lastly, you can see clearly when it comes to home furnishings, in 2005 they sold 25%, but when it comes to 2010 they sold 15%. So there was a decline or a decrease of 10%. And what has happened here can be explained. What could be the causes behind decline in sales and or increase in sales? So a minute, you just have to pause, then you do the comparison yourself. After you've finished, that's when you move forward. So plan. When you are writing the 150 essay of comparison, there must be introduction, and you paraphrase task heading, meaning what are you going to write. Then summary paragraph, you put two major features. So changes in the percentages for the different sectors during the period. You see, in some sectors, the sales increased by a given percentage. In some sectors, sales decreased by some percentages. So you'll be able to make those comparisons, as I've just done for you before we came here. So while the figures for food and beverages and also video games increased, the figures for the other two sectors fell, as we saw from the two pie charts. Paragraph 3, detail for the sectors with the increased percentages. You do that in paragraph 3. While in paragraph 4, you detail for the sectors with the reduced percentages. You just explain that. So you also pause, then go through this as you look back at the two pie charts to be able to understand and try to imagine as to why there was some increases and why there was some sort of reductions. Yes. So, example here, you can see. The charts compare 4 retail sectors in Canada in terms of the proportion of their internet sales in 2 years. Yes, 2005 and 2010. So, overall, the proportion of online sales for each of the 4 sectors changed significantly from 2005 to 2010, while the figures for food and beverages and video games increased. The figures for the other 2 sectors fell. So, in 2005, the proportion of online sales of food and beverages was 22% of all of what was sold. But this rose to 32% in 2010. The percentage for internet sales of video games also went up by 5% from the 2005 figure of 18%. In contrast, the percentages of the online sales of the other sectors decreased. The most dramatic fall was in the home furnishings retail sector. While this figure was 25% of these 4 sectors' total online sales in 2005, it fell to just 15% in 2010. Okay? So, there was also a decrease in the electronics and appliances sector, which saw a fall from 35% in 2005 to 30% in 2010. So what are we seeing here? We are seeing like from the food and beverages from 22% to 32%, there was an increase of 10%. An increase of what? 10%. Wow. And that 10%, if now you want to know exactly the exact change, you take 10% over 22% times 100%, you will be able to see the increase. So you can be able to tell the percentage increases and the percentage fall or decrease. Okay? So now you are being asked, compare the following two pie charts with 150 words. So you only use 150 words. So here they are showing sectors contribution for GDP for country A. GDP stands for gross domestic product. This is what all sectors of economy of a country produce in 1 year. That is what we call gross domestic product. So let us look at it. In country A, you can see there is the blue is industry, red agriculture, service, then others. So what we are seeing is that, like we can see industry, this country has 32%, agriculture it has 22%, service it has 27%, and others are 19%. So going ahead, now sectors contribution for GDP in country B. So you can see industry, country B has 22%, but country A has 32%. Country B has 32% agriculture, and country A has 22% agriculture. Country B has 25% services. Country A has 27% services. Country B has 21% others, while country A has 19% others. Okay, so this shows clearly that you can now compare the two countries and be able to make a very good comparison, and this is what we have seen. So I will take you back from where we have come from, and we see what you are supposed to have done in this kind of comparing two pie charts. So this is what we have done, and therefore this is what you can also find in mathematics. So it's important that you can be able to look at two pie charts, because you never know. In the national exam, you would find that they bring you two pie charts of maybe two industries or two cities in Ethiopia or two countries or two continents, and they ask you to write a comparison essay. So this will help you to be able to write a comparison essay. Okay, so I want to believe this is all what we needed to know. It is writing a comparison essay, but using pie chart information in percentages. So you can see how easy and enjoyable it is. And therefore, I want to believe you have enjoyed this the way you enjoy it in mathematics, because now this brings us to the end of this lesson. So for now, bye-bye. See you in the next lesson.